You remember me?
No.
You don't remember me?
I don't have a good memory.
I guess you don't. My name is, well, I'll refresh your memory then. My name is Reeve Kerwin. Now, last time I was here, I showed you some of the amazing animals God created. Do you remember that?
No.
Well, tonight I'm going to show you something a little different. I'm going to show you all things poisonous. Everything poisonous in the whole world. From plants, insects, and reptiles. You kids want to see them?
Yeah.
Well, shout him in if you do. All right then. Okay. Okay. Technical difficulties, kids. I think we're too lucky this year. Well, that's all right. The devil's trying to trick us tonight, isn't he, kids? We're not going to let him trick us, though, are we?
I hate the devil.
Anyway, you kids remember him, don't you?
Yeah. Kermit the Frog.
His name is not Kermit.
Okay, this is the new cup.
Okay. Yeah, just going right. All right, let's start over again. Oh, here we go.
3, 2, 1. Hello, Reeve.
Well, it's about time. Crikey, it is a talking frog, by the way.
What's so strange about that? The last time you were here, it was a talking ostrich.
Oh, yeah. I remember her. Her name was Olivia. Say, what's your name, mate?
My name is Jeremiah the Bullfrog.
Well, I'm pleased to meet you there, Jeremiah. Why don't you stick around a while? I'm about to teach these kids here about poisonous creatures and things, and it's all poisonous in the world.
Yes, I heard you mention insects, which happens to be what I eat.
Yeah, I reckon it would be what you eat. You're a frog, after all. Well, anyway, might as well get started here. Now, I want you to pay close attention now, because some of the insects I'm going to tell you about in a little while are deadly poisonous.
I like the way Rich knows, so I don't mistakenly eat one.
All right, then. Well, anyway, let's get started, kids. We're going to start with poisonous plants.
Yay!
Now, this first poisonous plant is called a poison ivy. Have you kids ever seen a poison ivy?
Well, I think I got it. I don't know.
Well, if you see, I don't know if you've never seen it, but if you ever touched it, you know you touched it, because in its leaves they have poison oil. And if you touch it, it'll make you itch really bad. The problem is, the more you itch, the more it spreads, and the more you got to itch, and it gets all over you. It's poisonous. Now, here's the best way to recognize one of these bad boys. If it's got leaves of 3, let it be. Now,
I think that's what got me.
that probably was. Now, this next plant here is poisonous. It's called poison hemlock.
It's on my
Now,
house.
it grows almost everywhere. You can see it in fields and along the roads. Now, some people confuse it with another plant that looks a lot like it. It's called Queen Anne's lace. And actually, you can eat the roots of those. But if you ate the roots of this fella, well, I think you better call an undertaker. You're going to need one. They're deadly poisonous. Now, this next one, I'm sure you've all seen. This is called pokeweed.
Yep. Yeah.
Have you ever seen a pokeweed?
Yeah.
They get really, really big. They get up to 9, 10 feet tall sometimes. Now, it's a common plant, and it's called pokeweed, and you know that already, but the berries and leaves are deadly poisonous. But as weird as it seems, though, when this plant is only like 3 or 4 inches tall, you can actually eat the leaves. Some people call it poke salad.
Poke salad, because it's got some good.
Yeah, like that song, that's right. Anyway, this next one is a bad one. Not so much poisonous as it's just irritating. This is called ragweed.
Seen that before.
Yeah, they grow all over. They got a pollen that if you have an allergy, it make you sneeze a lot, your nose drip. I have that problem myself.
Yeah, I know. I got sinus allergies to that plant too.
Yeah. Now, this next one, probably one of the most deadly of all plants. This is called the poppy plant. Now, it's extremely deadly, though. It's made, the poppy, what they do is they make opium and heroin from it. And it's a drug that's highly addictive. Now, it has actually killed tens and hundreds of thousands of people, so kids stay away from anything that's got opium or heroin in it, all right? Now,
I didn't know that was poisonous.
now, yeah, deadly poison. It doesn't grow around here anyway, but don't worry about that none. Now, this next one's called Nightshade. Now, it might look real edible. It might even look kind of tasty, but kids don't eat that berry.
Those are blueberries.
Yeah, it looks like a blueberry, that's right. But be careful. If you eat it, they can make you pretty sick, and they can even kill you. All right, now, let's move on to poisonous insects. What do you say?
Yay!
This is the part I need to know about the most, because, well, that's what I eat.
Yeah. How about you kids? You kids like to eat insects?
No. Yeah.
You don't? You do? What kind of insects do you like to eat?
Spiders.
Spiders? Ooh, yeah, I like spiders too. Speaking of spiders, oh, what is this right here? That's exactly right. This is a black widow spider.
My mom knows how to work.
Now, their bite is very painful. But you know the thing about this is, the female black spider has more venom in its bite than the male spiders do. Now, if you get bit by one of these, crikey, there's one right now. Look out, it might get you. Oh, my goodness. Good thing I got rid of him real quick, isn't it? Whoa. Now, this next fella, he's called a funnel web spider. Now, he's a pretty ugly fella. Now, they're found in my homeland of Australia, but here's the things, kids. The venom from this fella, one bite is strong enough to kill a human being. That's pretty powerful. Now, this next one, this is called a brown recluse spider. Now, they're called a brown recluse spider, but you know, here's the thing. They like to build their webs in nooks and crannies of like your garages, attics, and even in your houses even. But now, their bite, what it does, it creates a wound on you, and it's very painful. It opens up into an open sore. Ouch, I wouldn't want to get bit by him, would you? Now, this next fella, get ready to get scared, kids, because this one's really scary. It's a Droid Centipede. My goodness.
Why are they in my house and I hate those?
Now, this bug is a big bugger. It's a
Droid
Droid Centipede. Now, did you know they get up to a foot long? That's that long, kids. And now, here's the thing, though. They bite. Now, they never got poisoned, but they bite, and boy, it's strong enough to kill a mouse or a bird. But no worries, they live in a tropical forest. I don't think you're going to find none around here.
I've seen some around my house where I live.
Yeah, but not like this fella. Now, this next one is a millipede. Now,
I saw
this
one
fella,
when I was hiking.
yeah, now they're not as big as a centipede. They only get about 2 inches long. Now, they do produce a chemical in their hairs. And the thing is, if you touch it, it secretes a poison cyanide, which irritates your skin. And if you get it in your eyes, you might even go blind. Now, this next one, I didn't even know what this was when I first saw it. This is a Postman Caterpillar. Now, he kind of looks like a fluffy little kitty cat, doesn't he?
No!
Yeah, but here's the thing. You don't want to pet this little guy, because he's like that last one. He's got a powerful venom in his hairs there that if you get contact with it, they say it's as painful as breaking your arm. I wouldn't want to get bit by him, would you, kids?
No, I would like to squish it with my shoe.
Yeah. All right, now this next one, he's called a giant silkworm moth caterpillar. Now, he's kind of like them other guys, but I got to tell you something. He's even more poisonous. Now, he's probably the most dangerous because, well, when he gets bigger and turns into a moth, he's harmless. But in this particular case, when he's a caterpillar, if you touch him, the venom, it can cause internal bleeding and even kidney failure, and even death. It could kill you if you touched it. So you don't want to touch him, kids, but don't worry again. You can only find him in South America.
Are we in South America?
You're in North America,
Okay, good.
I think.
Good.
Now this next little guy, now I know it says Spanish fly, but actually this is not a fly at all. This is actually a beetle.
Yeah.
Now if you touch them, they secrete a poison that can lead to internal bleeding and organ failure. And again, they're not found around here in the good old USA, so thank God we don't have to worry about that, fellas. Now this next one, I don't like wasp. Now that's actually a wasp. It's called a Tarantula hawk wasp. Now these guys, they actually hunt tarantulas and kill them. So you know they gotta have a pretty powerful venom in their bite. And what they do, get this, kids, these wasps, they'll get up to a tarantula and bite them and it paralyzes them. And what they do is they take that tarantula and drag it into a hole. Now, when they get it in that hole, they lay their eggs on it. Now, when those eggs hatch, those larvae that come out, they eat the tarantula alive. Boy, I wouldn't want to be that tarantula either, would you?
No, I like tarantulas. Me too.
Now, this is called a harvester ant. Now, this little guy's a harvester ant. But now, get this, kids. Its sting is 20 times stronger than that of a honeybee.
Wow, 20 times stronger. I got stung just one time by a honeybee. Boy, oh boy, did it hurt. Yes, I was swallowing that bee on me.
Yeah, well, no worries, mate. They're only found in southern United States and in New Mexico. Now, this next one, this is an ant, but it's called a bullet ant. Now, you want to stay kind of clear of these guys, too. It's called a bullet ant because it gets its name from its painful sting. The pain can last up for 24 hours. That's a full day. And here's the thing, though. As part of an initiation ritual, Rainforest Maui tribal people, they fill up a sleeve with bullet ants, and they make their young men wear that sleeve for 10 minutes to pass a test.
I think I'll pass on taking that test.
Yeah, me too. Now, another bee. I don't like bees. Now, this is called a giant hornet. This next little guys, they're called Asian giant hornets. And I'm glad they're only found in Asia, though, aren't you? They get pretty big, too. Now, this next one, these are called army ants. Now, they're called army ants because of this, and you want to stay clear of them, too. Individually, they can't hurt you at all. But what they do is they travel in groups of like 200,000. That's why they call them an army. And what they do is they all gang up on you, eat you alive. Now, this next one, y'all are going to know what this fella is. That's a mosquito.
I hate mosquitoes. I'm allergic. They suck our blood.
I'm sure that a lot of you have probably been bitten by one of these little bloodsuckers.
Everyone probably
But, you know, they can be deadly too, though. Especially when they transmit a disease called malaria. Now, they might be small, but they can be deadly. Just like this next fella. He's a paralytic tick. Now, he's a bloodsucker too. And like the mosquito, he can transmit disease, like Lyme disease. But this particular tick, he's from Australia. And its bite contains a poison that paralyzes your muscles and ultimately stop your heart from beating. But what happens when your heart starts beating, kids? When your heart stops beating, what happens to you?
You die!
You die! That's exactly right. So you want to stay away from that fella. But like I said, he's in Australia.
And it's on skin.
Now, this next fella, it's called a tsetse fly. Now, he might look big on his screen, but it's actually very, very tiny. Little tiny fly. Now, they're found in Africa. Now, their bite is painful, which causes a disease called sleeping sickness, and it kills about 10,000 humans a year.
I eat flies all the time. I won't eat one of those kind.
I don't blame you there. Now this next one is called a rat flea. Now you all heard of fleas before, haven't you? Your dog's got them, your cat's got them, your brothers and sisters might have them too. Now, this little insect flea, like ticks and mosquitoes, they drink your blood. But you know, they can also transmit disease, just like the Black Death of the 1300s, which killed 50 million people. One little flea. Golly, he's poisonous, kids. Now, this next one kind of looks like a ghost. Now, actually, it's not really an insect at all. It's more like, well, it's called a sea wasp, but it's not. It's found in the ocean. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like a jellyfish. Now, its sting, though, can stop your heart in just a few minutes. That's pretty deadly, wouldn't you say? Now, we're going to go on to another species of poisonous creatures, reptiles.
Reptiles are my relatives.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Frogs
Right,
can be
yeah.
too.
There's first reptile, anaconda.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love snakes.
Now, he's not really so much poisonous as he is just dangerous. It can get up to 17 feet long, and it can weigh up to 154 pounds.
No.
Now, what it does, though, is it curls up around you, and it literally squeezes you to death. And then it eats you.
You can also tame them too.
I wouldn't want to tame him. He might tame you. Now, this next one's called a Commodore Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. You sure do drool a lot. But you know what? That drool is laced with poisonous venom. And he's actually the world's biggest lizard, too. They get up to 9 feet long. Now, they're found in Indonesia, so I don't think you'll see none of them walking around being stationed here. I don't think. Now, this next one.
Hey, it's my cousin Golden. She's the black sheep of the family, so to speak.
Yeah, I can see why. Now, this is called a golden poison frog. Now, I can see why you wouldn't want anything to do with him. Despite its tiny size, this frog is considered one of the world's deadliest animals. They're deadly poison from its glands. They have enough in there to produce enough poison to, get this, to kill 10 human beings. Now, the natives of South America, they smear that poison on their blowgun darts, which they use to kill animals that they hunt. Now, I've often wondered, you're going to kill him with a poisonous dart, and then you're going to eat that animal? I would think that poison would be in the animal, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I would think so.
My family and I have anything to do with them. They give us frogs a bad name.
Yeah, I see why. Now, this next frog's called a Gila monster. Now, this lizard, they get almost 2 feet long, and their venomous bite is also very deadly. You wouldn't want to make a pet out of him, kids.
I would too.
Now, this is called a black mamba. Now, they can get almost 14 feet long. That's longer than one of those pew things down there. And again, they're found in Africa, so you don't have to worry. And by the way, they are very deadly. Now, this next one's called a soft-scaled viper. Now, what they do is they like to climb up into trees and attack and eat birds. And they're considered deadly to human beings, too. Now, this next cute little fella,
I want to hold it.
this cute little green fella, I don't think you'd want to hold him.
I do.
He's called a boomslang. Now, they get up to 6 feet long, and its venomous bite can be fatal, causing internal bleeding. Now, this next fella, now, these are all reptiles. That's what snakes are. Now, this is called an inline typon, and it's called that because it's found in my homeland of Australia. Now, they get up to be about 8 feet long, but get this, one single drop of its venom is enough to kill almost 100 human beings. Wow, I definitely wouldn't want to play with this guy. Hey, what's that? Something's tickling me here. Oh my God, it's a snake! Hey, I don't think this one's poisonous. Matter of fact, I think he might be edible. Should I eat him?
No!
You don't want me to eat him? Well, here, you eat him.
I like him.
Yeah.
Why are you throwing on my curls?
I would never eat a snake, but I did hear they do taste like chicken.
No!
But you know what? There are snakes that eat other snakes. Would you like to see one? Shout amen if you would.
Amen!
Okay, here we go. It's called a king cobra. Now, it eats other snakes. Now, it doesn't hiss like other snakes. It doesn't do that. They kind of growl from their throat. Now, they're found in Asia, and they get up to be about 13 feet long. And yes, their venom from their bite is deadly. Now, this next fella, he kind of mean looking. He's a puff adder. Now, they're found in Africa, and they get about 6 feet long, but most definitely, they are poisonous. Now, this next one, he has a rattle at the end of his tail. What kind of snake do you think he is?
I didn't know he had a...
He's got a rattle on the end of his tail. What kind of snake do you think he is?
A rattlesnake!
A rattlesnake, that's right. Now, this is called a sidewinder rattlesnake, and its bite is quite painful and potentially fatal. Now, we're going to move into something a little bit different. Now, this is not exactly a reptile.
It's a bat!
This is called a vampire bat. And yes, they are real. Kind of scary looking, aren't they?
No, it's not!
Yeah, it is true. They do drink blood. But that's not what makes them so deadly, though. Their bite really isn't poisonous or anything, but they can transmit disease, like rabies. And rabies can kill you. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Now, they like to group up into... There's a whole bunch of them there. Hey, there's one right there. Look out, it's a vampire bat. Oh, look out, he might bite you. Don't ever play with one of them, kids. Whoa. You don't want to mess around with them. Whew. Well, I tell you what, there's sure a lot of deadly poisonous things in this world in there, kids. Now, I saved... Now listen up, kids, this is very important. I saved the most deadliest of all God's creation in the whole universe of all time. The most deadliest poisonous creature is...
The devil!
The devil! Now, of course you know he's the devil, right? Now, the reason why he's so poisonous is what he tells you. He'll try to poison your mind and tell you lies. Yeah, I can see you kids are scared. You're all hiding behind the pews when he came up, don't you? But you don't need to be scared of him. You're in a church. He can't touch you here. We won't let him. Now, here's the thing, kids. The devil, he is never going to come to you looking like this fella. Because if he did, you would hide, just like you're hiding right now. Now, I'm going to read you a little scripture that's going to explain what I mean. It's in 2 Corinthians 11, verses 13 and 14. Now, listen up. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles of Christ. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. So, kids, when the devil comes to tempt you, he's not going to look like this guy. He's going to look more like this guy. And no, Fabio is not the devil. I just use him as an example.
Where'd you get my picture at?
Now, I've shown you all these pictures of poisonous things to make it very clear to you there are some things you need to stay away from. Poisonous things, I mean. But also stay away from the devil. Now, if you ever do happen to get bit by a deadly insect or a creature like a bat or a snake or something, just remember what it says in Mark 16, 17, and 18. And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name they shall cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. Now, would you kids like us to come back again sometime and show you some more of God's animal creatures? Shout amen if you would.
Amen.
What are you amening to? You didn't even hear what my question was, did you? That's because you're playing with all my deadly creatures I threw at you.
I like them.
Would you like me and Jeremiah to come back again and show you more pictures of God's creatures? Well, we will.
Bring more deadly insects because we want to play with them.
Yeah, all right. I'll see what I can find. And until then, keep going to church. And if you want any copies of these, we got DVDs back there. They're free, okay?
Oh, yeah, we have a game room.
Okay, we got a game room coming up, too. It's not working right now, but it will be by next week. And anyway, until then, you all have a good day. Say bye.
Bye, kids. Bye.
You didn't even talk that much.
I'm glad he's not deadly.
Why is he
Glad he's not deadly.
floating? Why is he floating?